Hello, New Covenant Community Church. Yesterday we looked at Acts chapter 16, and in Acts 16 we saw Paul work to persuade people towards the gospel of Jesus Christ by preaching who Jesus is, that he is the Christ, and what Jesus did, that he rose from the dead, defeating sin and death. And that was really his main point in each place that he went. So we saw him in Philippi in Acts chapter 16, and then in Acts chapter 17, we saw him as he moved to Thessalonica, then Berea, and then into Athens. So as he continues in Macedonia, in Thessalonica and Berea, he's reasoning with those in the synagogue. So he spent 3 Sabbath days in the synagogue talking to the people of Thessalonica. He's showing them how Jesus is the fulfillment of the Old Testament, that he is the Christ, the anointed one, the king that they're expecting. But then he gets accused of advocating for strange customs and a king other than Caesar, which really was not what he was advocating for. He was advocating that Jesus is the Christ, that the thing that they've been waiting for and longing for has finally come. So he ends up being driven out of town and into Berea. And in Berea, he's arguing the same things. Now, they were more noble than the Thessalonians, and they accept the word with gladness. They study the scriptures to make sure it's true. But then some people from Thessalonica, they came and they stirred up a crowd after them. And in these two scenes, some of the things that we saw were that the people who are in charge or in authority, or the people who get jealous over the gospel spreading, aren't really usually concerned with truth. The conflict that arrives doesn't usually stop the gospel. It actually usually helps the gospel to go further. But in all of these things, we want to make sure that we are presenting the true, real gospel. And we're focused on Jesus being the Christ, that he rose from the dead, that he died for our sins. Those are the ideas that we focus on. Then he gets to Athens, and he's going to reason in a different way. He's going to talk to the people who are part of that major Greek city, and he is going to explain to them in ways that they understand how Jesus is the fulfillment of what they've been longing and waiting for. So he goes into the Areopagus. He's troubled by all of the things that he's seen in the marketplace and all the idolatry. He sees an idol to an unknown God. And that idol to the unknown God, he says, let me explain to you. So he talks about what God has done. He quotes a couple of their own Greek philosophers, and he says that this Jesus, he's the one who fulfills all of these ideas. Really what's happening in each of these places is that Paul is reasoning with people to help them to understand that Jesus is the fulfillment of everything. And as he does, that's what we want to do. So please be praying about where we can be in Chandler, how we can be engaging the people in our community, and how we can be pointing them towards the gospel and giving them the answers to show that Jesus is the fulfillment of everything.